What is up, everybody? This is Leon, and I am back tonight to give you guys another quick and dirty paperback horror novel review. Tonight, we are going to take a look at Keeper of the Children by William H. Hallahan. Now, this book was published in hardcover in 1978 by William Morrow. The edition I'm holding in my hands here is by Avon Books. This was published a year later in 1979. Now, take a minute and just look at that cover. We've got an angry, beheaded, stuffed teddy bear wielding an axe that has just bisected a poor little mouse. That is fantastic. And believe it or not, that scene does actually appear in the novel. One thing I love about these 80s paperbacks is that a lot of the times they really would deliver on the promise of their covers. Much more so, I feel like, than a lot of the VHS cover art of the time. So, you see something like this, and you pretty much, a lot of the times you get what you're expecting, for the most part. Now, this one. This book follows a guy named Eddie Benson. I believe that was his name. He's a commercial photographer living in the suburbs of Philadelphia. Family man. He's got a wife and 2 kids. One night, his teenage daughter, Rennie, doesn't come home. And every parent's worst nightmare becomes a reality for Eddie. His daughter has joined a cult led by a diabolical Buddhist monk who is brainwashing her and a bunch of other teenagers to wander the streets of Philadelphia, panhandling, begging for money to line this sick, evil man's pockets. Now, Eddie and the other parents are, of course, furious about this, but they apparently can't really do a whole lot. One of the parents has formed a parents' committee in an attempt to try to get the guy deported because they found out that the guy, this Buddhist monk, falsified his documents. He claimed to be from Vietnam, when in fact it appears that he is from Tibet, and he had fled Tibet when the communists had taken over. And so they think, oh, we're gonna send these documents to the authorities, and they're gonna boot this guy out. We're gonna get our kids back. Well, it doesn't take too long for the leader of this parents group, the first guy, to get dispatched by a scarecrow. That's right. A scarecrow comes alive outside this person's house and brutally bludgeons him to death in front of all the other parents. Now, these other parents see this, and they don't seem too shocked, actually, which is kind of funny. They immediately just take this as a sign. Oh my God, we knew it. This guy's evil. What are we gonna do now? Like, they're not even surprised that a scarecrow came alive, and they immediately attribute it to this Buddhist monk, obviously. So then another guy decides to take the reins, Dr. Singh, and but he takes precautions. He's like, I'm gonna make sure that I keep myself safe until I get these important documents to the authorities. So he immures himself in this like cell, basically underground. Well, the next supernatural force to come after him is a gang of feral cats. A bunch of cats come after him. They are able to slide through the bars and devour him alive. So now Eddie and the rest of the parents, they know that this monk is pure evil, and he's not going to allow them to foil his plans. He's not going to allow them to take away these teenagers that he's using, forcing them to beg for him. So Eddie decides to find out, to research this a little bit. Eddie discovers that this Buddhist monk is a master of astral projection, and that he is basically leaving his body, his consciousness, and he's inhabiting inanimate objects and using them to attack his enemies. Now, I'm a huge sucker for any book that deals with astral projection. It's kind of outmoded at this point and it's pretty cheesy, but I don't know. I just love that. I'm thinking of novels like Ramsey Campbell's The Parasite, Gary Brandner's Floater. It's just fun. It's just a fun, cool concept. So Eddie decides, you know what? I'm going to get my daughter back. He decides to give up a pretty sweet photography gig in Africa just so he can, train and try to master this art himself, astral projection, so he can duke it out with this evil monk in the astral field. So he goes and seeks out this Indian yogi who basically trains him for a number of weeks. This guy disappears, doesn't tell his wife where he is, and he trains to learn how to concentrate and be able to create an exit where he can leave his body and travel in the astral realm and fight this evil monk who has kidnapped basically his daughter and all these other teenagers and is forcing them to beg for him. So he goes and, he travels and basically he's staring at a wall. This yogi makes him sit down for hours on end and stare at a wall and concentrate on nothing but the wall. And, he almost loses his mind, but he finally learns how to do it. And he battles this evil monk, and it is pretty fun. It's pretty fun, I gotta say. Now, there are some problems with this book. It was published in the late 70s, and a lot of books published in the late 70s are a little problematic when you look at them from today's viewpoint. There are some pretty nasty stereotypes. It does appear xenophobic at times. The constant referral of Asians as Orientals is kind of cringy, even by Asians themselves calling themselves Orientals, and just the whole idea of this malevolent sort of person from the East, kind of similar to like Graham Masterton's The Manitou, which is another really fun, awesome book, but kind of stereotypical when you think about it. That one was about an ancient Indian, Native American spirit, but they're products of their time. You can't just say that you're not gonna read a book just because it's a product of its time. I mean, if we did that, we wouldn't really be able to read Shakespeare. So I'm not saying that this is Shakespeare, certainly, but you gotta give it a little bit of understanding, seeing that it was a different time period. But this book was fun. Is really fun to see the different ways that this malevolent Tibetan monk kind of animates these different objects. So there's like a scarecrow. It animates like these cats. It animates some marionette dolls. The teddy bear from the cover here, that's a pretty fun scene toward the end of the book. So yeah, it's a fun read, solidly written. If you get a chance, if you find this somewhere and you like these kind of things, if you like these kind of ridiculous, cheesy horror novels from the late 70s, early 80s, I would recommend it. I would say go for it. It's fun. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. I'm going to cut it short. I'm a little sick today. I don't know if you've noticed. My throat is a little screwed up, but thanks for watching. Hope to have some more videos coming up soon. I'm going to do another collection video, and probably going to do a collection update soon because I've been getting a lot of stuff. I did a recent book haul, and I've been getting a lot of stuff in the mail, so I'll probably do a big collection update coming up soon. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great one, and I'll see you later. Peace out.